Joining me today out of Gambrills, Maryland is Les Boring. Out of an audience of more than 250,000 agents nationwide, Les has been selected to represent Broker Agent Advisor as this month's Broker Agent of the Month for the state of Maryland. He was an easy pick. He's a great candidate. I'm proud to be here. And Les, thank you for joining me and congratulations on the recognition.
Oh, thank you, Brian. It's quite an honor and a humbling experience for sure. I've heard many other awardees, and it's truly a humbling experience to be selected for this and a chance to represent your state and your office. So thank you all very much for the consideration.
You're welcome. And I appreciate your humility. And it's part of why you were selected. You've got a lot of passion for people and passionate about this business. My desire is for anybody that gets to see this to get a sense for who you are and maybe a little bit about why you were selected. And I thought we'd just entertain a couple questions together.
Okay.
Talk to me a little bit about this business. You could be doing a lot of different things here in the U.S. How did you get into real estate? Why are you a realtor?
Well, it's kind of an interesting journey. I did a lot of different things here in the U.S. And after retiring from a couple companies and running a couple companies of my own, I decided that I was still too much of a people person to sit at home. So I decided to get into real estate. And my only regret is I wish I would have done it about 35 years ago. It's fantastic. My background is consulting and a long stint in the military and people, and that's what's important to me. So it pulled me in, and it keeps me in there, and that's totally how I got into it. I was out to lunch with another real estate agent who's a friend of mine, and she convinced me that I probably would like it, and she was correct.
So this is Les in retirement. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Well, another retirement, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but one of the things, so many people get in this business, and from the outside looking in, they have one perspective of it, and then they get in and they realize it's a little harder than they thought, and it's different than they thought, and you've had some success. You've been doing this for a while. What do you find most rewarding about being a realtor?
Oh, the interaction with people, for sure. For me, it's people before the sale. And I came from consulting, as I said, and I thought I knew everything. You consult with people and business owners, and you know everything. You have the answers to all the questions. And I got my license, and I got to the office and realized I didn't know anything. And you start learning and readjusting. You can transfer a lot of your experiences and a lot of the things that you've done before over, but real estate is a totally different world, and it is much harder than people think. You work hard in real estate. People don't realize the amount of things that you do for them and how hard it is to get folks into a house and vice versa, get folks out of their house. So for me, it's all people, Brian. When you see the smile on their face, that's what it's all about.
I did a little digging, and I found a testimonial, and you've got a bunch, but I like to hear what other people say about how the transaction went from their perspective, because I think as real estate agents, we all aspire to deliver good service and build a world of people that refer business to us. But until our clients start telling us that's what they experienced, we never really know if that's the case. And this isn't a super long one, but I just felt like it was really poignant, and it spoke to my perspective on who you are. It says, Les has gone above and beyond to help my husband and I in the process of buying our first home together. Not for 1 second have I ever second guessed our decision in choosing him as our realtor. From here on out, I'll be recommending him to anyone and everyone we talk to. That's like the perfect summary for how I would hope someone would feel at the end of a transaction. And those are kind words. Congrats for that.
It's humbling when you realize that you have probably the biggest decision and largest expense that someone will ever make in your guidance, and you're advising them. You realize that this is important to them, and then therefore it's got to be important to you.
No doubt. I've not spent any time in Gambrills, Maryland, Les. What makes Gambrills such a great place to live, work, and play and be in this business?
Location. I think it's probably in the center of Fort Meade, it's between Fort Meade and Andrews Air Force Base, and then of course all the military bases in the DC area. And most convenient and nice, it's a few minutes away from Annapolis, Maryland, and away from Baltimore. So geographically, you're in the hub of what I think is the heart of the real estate business in Maryland. Agents will argue with me, of course, because their territory is precious to them, and they know it much better than I do. So, you know, they have the same feelings about Howard County, Montgomery County that I have about Anne Arundel County. But its location, it's right in the center of everything, and we have a great group of people that have migrated to that office.
That's awesome. Yeah, community's everything, people are everything, and you certainly seem completely at peace living your best life doing this where you live, and that's the people around you. One last question. We've had the pandemic, which has impacted everybody in some way. That has kind of rolled over into unprecedented market conditions for the real estate industry here in the US. We've had low inventory, sort of historical numbers, and it's been a really tough couple of years for business. If you were to give a single piece of advice to a peer in this business based on your experience and what you've learned, what would that one piece of advice be?
Well, I think I mentioned it earlier in saying that I wish I would have done this 30, 35 years ago. I think that young people need to consider this as importantly as any other business when they, finish their college education or technical education, whichever route they choose to go. I think real estate is something that needs to be elevated in the minds of everyone, and they need to get into it early. They need to get into it with both feet and learn as much as you can. I happen to be fortunate enough to be with a brokerage that provides tremendous amount of training, and it just, you learn something all the time from either another agent, from your brokerage, and that would be my advice. Get in early and be a sponge. Suck up every bit of knowledge you can from wherever you can find it.
Yeah, I think it's great advice. This is an opportunity here that's open to everybody, and it's about work ethic and grit, and it's about compassion and empathy. And yeah, definitely, if you get in, like, find a mentor, find a coach, find someone that's willing to invest in your success. But if you can grind out those first few years, there's definitely a long, happy road ahead if you're good at what you do. And Les, it's been a privilege to be in a position to recognize you for your contributions and for the quality of character that you have. And congratulations again on the recognition. And I wish you nothing but huge success the rest of the way.
Oh, I thank you, and again, thank you for the recognition. It's like I said, it's quite humbling. It's not just a phrase. It really is a pleasure, and I appreciate your process, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.